I just was struck the first day I went into the computer classroom. I had older children, and they have Bosco School has a computer lab. So, I mean, computer lab, no internet or anything, but they had to go in there, turn all the computers on, turn the generator on so you can turn the computers on. And so the teacher gave me his lesson plan for the day. I was like, I have computers. I'm like, we'll see if I can do it. And the lesson plan for the day was how to sit at a computer, how to prevent you from getting what I would consider in the United States, like when we are watching TV all day and we're on a computer all day, our posture gets bad and everything. And I was like, these children are not, they probably get the computer for an hour a week. And I was like, this is a lesson plan. But all the teachers are pretty much children that have just graduated from Bosco. So they're all 18, 19 years old. And they haven't gone to school to become a teacher. They just only know to teach out of the lesson plan or out of a book. And I found like they want to educate. Everybody wants the education so badly, and the need for educated. I mean, there were some teachers there that were older and probably more educated, but that they want to learn, striving to learn.
Yes. And then after I think I taught my class in Bosco, I did like poetry with them, so they learned haikus, so I could like do the whole like syllable thing, and then like acrostic poems so that they could like formulate whole sentences, just because I like poetry and I thought it'd be a good way to like get them going with learning more English. And because like in that region they spoke Twi. But what else? Oh, and then I played Simon Says with them on the last day. Oh my goodness, they loved this game, and it was fun because they actually had to like listen carefully to make sure like I was saying Simon Says or without it, and they like just went crazy. Like they didn't want to play anything else. They're like, no, Simon Says again, and they were just like all into it. Like one person would like act like they didn't move, and they'd be like, sit down, no. And like they just really enjoyed stuff like that. So I found that like a lot of interactive things were helpful in teaching.
Another thing I would like to mention, I learned this afterwards. Joyce told us about why they keep their haircut short and everything. And because I had questions why they have like, little like marks on their face, or like why are their hair so short. Well, girls keep their hair short because they're supposed to focus on education. Not to look pretty, not to, be all these things, but to focus on education. And that was one significant moment when I realized they do really, really take this seriously. And these kids have each other as a family, but, certainly Basco is more like orphanage school. Yeah. So their connection with each other was very good to, like, eye-opening to see. It's more than what we call friendship. It's family. They are family together. And again, value of books. And I taught them origami. So I thought I'd bring a little about my culture. When we made a bowl out of paper, they were just like, what? Because, it's a bowl. You can throw it, you can play with it. And they made their own. I was trying to, make a triangle. What's the legit shape of triangle? No, like, corners hanging out and all these things. And they were fascinated by it, that one paper can turn into 3D, like a little bowl. Wait, yeah, 3D, right? Mm-hmm. It's three-dimensional. And they were throwing that at each other. They got so excited that it doesn't hurt even if it hits you. So like they were whacking it and everything. It was just amazing to see how energized they are. But on the same time, they had this idea that education is education. It was time for them to play when I brought that papers out. When they're listening, they are listening. They're not missing a word about what you say. They remember about my little brother that I mentioned about, and they still talk to me. The teacher email me and say, how's your family, how's your brother? And every word that we say is very significant. It's nothing like, we do, what's up, and just walk away. They don't do that. They will take every word seriously. And that was, yeah.
Alright. So this is some, ignore this side for now. This is some teaching in Benin. And I guess I'll just go first. So this is my classroom. I had like a preschool age class. So for the time I was there, I taught them about the body parts using head, shoulders, knees, and toes, which I went over a lot because like the words they know, they don't like pronounce things with the same like sound, so I would like have to really like head, like really, and they had it by the second day, they remembered. And what was interesting about this is like I couldn't communicate with the teachers, so I'm just like they wanted to know what the words were in English too, so we made like a little diagram of the body and like labeled it, and they'd like offer us snacks and stuff, and I'm like, what is this? And they're like telling me in like French, and I'm like, I still don't know what it is. So then like me and Lindsay are like, what is it? Should we eat it? And I'm like whispering like, I don't know, I don't want to be rude. And then she's like, they don't know what we're saying, you can talk. And I'm like, okay. And then we found out it was an orange, but it was just like green on the outside. And it was really good, and I don't like oranges, but I did like that one. So we also did the hokey pokey, like the body part thing again, and a color book. So I like read this Dr. Seuss book, and then in like one whole page would be a color, and then I'd say in English what the color is. So it was a really good experience, and I think they like appreciated me being there, and I love the kids. And what I realized from being here in this school in Benin was that they learn a lot through like song and dance. Like it's not just like it's like a huge part of their culture. It's like tradition, it's fun, and it's also incorporated in their learning experiences. So like I'd be teaching something like the hokey pokey, all like corny, like your left foot, your right foot, and then the teacher just starts singing, and all these kids are like flapping their arms and like doing everything and singing all these songs, and I'm like, whoa, like you guys are advanced. So it's like, I don't know, they learn a lot through song and dance, and that was pretty cool. Anything about teaching in Benin?
When Benin, that we did a lot of that. Mommy and I actually joint taught, and
We
they
went through
only
like
spoke.
5 classes.
Yeah, they
We
only
went through
spoke
5
French.
classes.
So we had neither of us speak French. So you would be in a classroom, and you might have your teacher might understand a few English words. So we did the hokey pokey and head and shoulders, knees and toes, and they would repeat absolutely everything you said because they wanted to learn English so bad. So if we asked them to do something and they repeated, we say great, they'd go great. We'd say okay,
I'm like,
okay,
yay, and they were like, yay.
But to Mommy, it was funny. We were during a break. It was recess, and we were finishing up. We were doing head and shoulders, knees and toes, I think, still in our classroom, and then we were sent the kids out to the playground. And somehow the kids all wanted to be around us, wanted to touch you and everything. So Tamami standing in the doorway of this classroom into the playground and had the entire playground of children doing head and shoulders, knees and toes together. It was awesome.
Time when everyone came together.
That was recess, but they didn't want
They
recess.
didn't want it.
They
Yep,
wanted to
they
learn.
wanted
And they're looking at me, so I go, head. And next thing you know, they're all like, head. And I was the shoulder. And they were excited. And especially because, again, in Benin, we were trying to teach basic English or trying to let them get used to our language in a way. So it was important that we start from, like easier level. Though their classroom, I saw one of the blackboard having all this like electricity and this is like conduction and everything. The level of study that they were doing was very high in their age. For their age, it was very, very sophisticated. And seeing that and trying to, teach head, shoulders, knees, and toe, I didn't know what to do, if that was appropriate or not. But once they started, we were hopping around, jumping around, just whole the body movement things.
And they were running up at one point, they would bring, hand something and want to know what it said, what it is in English. So they'd bottle, or you'd run back and
They grab flip-flop, and we'll be like, this is flip-flop, sandals. And then they go back and bring notebook, and they're like, notebook, and they're like, notebook, run back. It was just amazing. They were eager to learn. In both countries that we went to, they're very, very eager to learn, and education means something to them.